Welcome back to The Breakdown with me, NLW. It's a daily podcast on macro, Bitcoin, and the big picture power shifts remaking our world. What's going on, guys? It is Sunday, March 23rd, and that means it's time for Long Read Sunday. Before we get into that, however, if you are enjoying The Breakdown, please go subscribe to it, give it a rating, give it a review, or if you want to dive deeper into the conversation, come join us on the Breakers Discord. You can find a link in the show notes or go to bit.ly/breakdownpod. Hello, friends, back with another Long Reads episode today, and we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of a normal essay or op-ed, we're actually going to be cribbing from Meltem Demir's presentation from her Blockworks talk at DAS this week, which she called Believe in Something. Meltem has been on this show numerous times. She's always interesting, has tons of great thoughts, and has at this point a huge amount of experience in this space, and always, no matter what, very interesting perspectives. We're doing it a little bit differently today. I'm actually recording this as a video so you can see the slides. So if you are not watching this on YouTube or on Spotify, I suggest you go check it out over there where you can see the video. I will try to describe her memes, although they will probably have a little something lost in translation. And what I'm going to do is we're cribbing from the Twitter thread that she paired with her slides. So it'll sort of be intersecting me with Meltem's points as we go along the way. Meltem writes, quick slide rip from my Blockworks DAS talk, Believe in Something. She shows the classic meme of the guy pushing dominoes from very small to very large, with the very small domino being wanting to buy mushrooms on the internet, and the very large domino being destabilizing the entire financial system. Meltem continues, this is where it all began. Everything we talked about 10 years ago when we started building the world's first Bitcoin investment firm has come to pass. So why isn't Bitcoin $1 million? The next slide shows a 5-year chart of the overall market cap of crypto and the overall traded volume of crypto, with the notable fact being that March 2021 and March 2025 look very similar. She writes, if we take out Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is the last 5 years of crypto markets. The names may have changed, but the numbers haven't. This is a big problem. There's no growth. So again, she's talking about growth or not in the altcoin market effectively. She continues, 2024 was propped up by 2 persistent bids, MicroStrategy and BlackRock. But the buyers aren't missionaries, they're mercenaries. MicroStrategy buyers are farming the conversion arbitrage. IBIT buyers are farming basis. 6% of the Bitcoin supply is in these two. This is our black swan. The title of her slide is MicroStrategy and ETF flows aren't what they seem. And this, of course, gets to the question of the uncomfortable bedfellows of the crypto kids and the Wall Street traders. Meltem continues, despite the promise of innovation and the breathless Twitter shilling of endless L1s, Bitcoin dominance is rising, not falling. This is a Bitcoin industry, a Bitcoin story, a Bitcoin market. Once again, the 5-year chart of Bitcoin dominance, with the same level around 60% now as it was 4 or 5 years ago. So let's look at Bitcoin, she writes. We have so many incredible rallies driven by narrative and flow catalysts. What possible narrative or flow could drive us higher than the US stockpiling Bitcoin? The catalysts she points to on the charts include ICO mania back in 2017, the Paul Tudor Jones pump at the beginning of COVID, the ETF pump when BlackRock announced, and the Trump pump once leading candidate Trump and then President-elect Trump really went all in on Bitcoin and crypto. Meltem continues, DeFi is incredible, but TradFi is winning when it comes to making money. Stablecoins and ETFs are on track to generate $9.1 billion of fiscal year 25 institutional revenue. DeFi protocols are on track to generate $9 billion of fiscal year 25 revenue, although much of this hinges on meme coin trading volume. The institutions are coming. Yeah, they see the money being made and they want a piece. Nothing personal, it's just business. In the case of Trump, he's coming to DAS because Papa's getting a bag. Nothing personal, it's just business. Missionaries, not mercenaries. The slide here that she presents is titled, The Institutions Are Here, period, to take our money, period. She points to USDT, holding $97 billion of treasuries, paying $200 million in annual fees. USDC holding $50 billion of treasuries, paying $100 million in annual fees. BUIDL being $1 billion of crypto natives giving their money to BlackRock to manage. And Trump, she writes, between Trump, Melania, and World Liberty Fi into the hundreds of millions in fees. Between all the insiders like LA Vape Capital, billions in profit. Her slide concludes, every asset manager and bank doing quote-unquote crypto is earning insane fees for putting things quote-unquote on-chain, i.e. holding treasuries or, in the case of Trump, selling retail crypto pipe dreams. Hello, friends. I am thrilled to share that Ledger is once again partnering and sponsoring with The Breakdown. Many of you know, but for those of you who don't, Ledger is the most secure hardware wallet for your crypto and logins. It's trusted by 7 million users and secures 20% of the world's digital assets. What's more, Ledger is a lot more than wallets. Over the recent years, they've built a comprehensive ecosystem of products and services, all of which are designed to make digital ownership more secure and accessible. You can buy your Bitcoin with Ledger and Ledger Live, and so much more. Basically, not only do they want to keep your assets secure, they want you to be able to do more with them. Ledger's newest devices, the Ledger Stacks and Ledger Flex, introduced the world's first secure touchscreens, making it easier and safer to manage your transactions and assets. Alongside Ledger Stacks and Ledger Flex, the company also launched the Ledger Security Key app, offering a safer alternative to traditional passwords and enhancing your digital security. If you are in this space, you owe it to yourself to at least check out Ledger and their ecosystem, what they have available to you. So thanks once again to Ledger for sponsoring the show. Meltem continues, the institutional innovators tweeting about adoption and the trench warriors tweeting about meme coins have more in common than you might think. We need to stop simping and start thinking. She writes, stop being dumb, myself included in all of this, by the way. You know what the most profound thing about crypto is, Meltem writes? Proof of work. Bitcoin showed the world how to build an energy to compute value chain and has created $60 billion in public equity value. Her slides call this our biggest victory, and she points to 24 publicly listed Bitcoin miners with $24 billion in market cap, CoreWeave going public at $36 billion, and Crusoe winning 2 Stargate facility contracts. Meltem moves on, almost done with the spice. I've said this so many times. Bitcoin has accelerated AI by at least a decade. Bitcoin created a new data center business model, including behind-the-meter co-location, flexible loads, demand response, hedging with the underlying. It's profound. Her slide reads, the AI boom would not have reached this magnitude without Bitcoin capitalizing hundreds of billions of dollars of data center build-out, fueled by lowest-cost electrification, driving persistent demand for hardware, and pioneering behind-the-meter co-location. And that spice she was talking about comes in the next slide. I've never said this in public before, but it's time. Proof of stake was a mistake. Ethereum could have been $1 trillion protocol with its own robust energy to compute ecosystem. Instead, MEV extracts billions in value from users and apps. Her slide reads, proof of stake was a mistake. Ethereum would be $1 trillion protocol if it was still proof of work. Dilution of ETH L1 via infinite L2s would not happen. The Ethereum ecosystem would have dozens of infrastructure companies benefiting from the AI boom. Ethereum miners would be pioneering GPU innovation. She points out that back in 2022, NVIDIA was an Ethereum story, writing Ethereum once led the great NVIDIA pump, now it can't pump. Her conclusion? We need to get back to the basics. It's the time of reckoning in so many markets and crypto is no exception. You cannot defy the laws of physics. Her slide reads, economic systems are comprised of matter, energy, and information. So, she asks, where do we go from here? Our salvation lies in energy, compute, crypto. It is truly that simple. Her slides read, the future is about atoms and energy. The rest of the story she writes is unfolding in real time. A decade ago, I believed in Bitcoin and committed all my time and energy to it. A group of crazies on the internet memed a global reserve currency into existence. Imagine what else we can do. Believe in something. I think Meltem here is getting at the question of besides Bitcoin, what? Now I know for many of you, the answer has for a long time been clear, which is, well, nothing. But for so many who are still in the crypto space and who are not Bitcoin only, the reckoning of which she mentions is really profound this cycle. ICOs might have in many cases been a cesspool of grift, but many of them were also principled and were at least attempting to show how a different alternative to the relationship between owners and users could be materialized. DeFi, obviously tons of ridiculous financial games there, but also the plumbing for a totally alternative financial system. NFTs? You might have thought that pictures on the internet being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars was incredibly stupid, but many people cared. These things organized communities that did for a time go beyond just their value. This cycle, what's the equivalent? Meme coins. Only the most tepid of attempts have ever been made to actually intellectualize meme coins, and even that small attempt has faded at this point. The industry, in other words, has given nothing besides the mainstreaming of Bitcoin this cycle to get anyone new interested in the space. We are seeing now, in sentiment and price, the cost and the consequence of not having new blood and new ideas and new capital enter the crypto space during a cycle. Meltem's point about the institutions is that while yes, they are a new source of all of those things, they also in many, many cases are going to have very different objectives than ours. Ultimately, is this a bleak view? Depends on how you look at it. I think it's mostly just a real view and a set of questions about what we might do differently. I don't have the answers, but I'm glad folks like Meltem are asking the questions, and I hope they have you thinking as well. For now, that is going to do it for today's breakdown. Appreciate you listening as always. And until next time, be safe and take care of each other. Peace.